Yo, this is Kawai, and today I want to talk to specifically people like me. And by people like me, I mean those who one day have the motivation, they would try to do everything, right? They would try to accomplish everything in just one day, right? They would do the whole day, they will perform and outperform everyone in just one day. And then the next day, they will still do it, and only after the week, they would lose motivation and they would just go back to their old lives where they would just lie down in the bed and use Facebook, browse news feed, and then after about a day, then they would get tired, right? At night they would get tired and just regret about the whole day because they just wasted their time and they were not productive. They regret it too. So if you're like me, then this video is definitely for you because I found a way to overcome that problem and how to maintain my motivation. So this is what I'm going to tell you. So the problem was actually not about motivation. The problem was overdoing things, right? When we have motivation, I usually overdo a lot of things, right? When I have motivation. When I have motivation, I would just try to accomplish everything in just one day. And then the next day and the next day. And only after the week, I would just get so tired and I would get bored because I've been doing it for a continuously for a week, right? So I would get bored and I would get tired and then I would just lose motivation and I would not do it anymore, right? So this is not good. So the problem is I overdo things, and so as I overdo things, I get bored, right? Because I've been doing it constantly, the same thing constantly for days, right? So you have to understand that people are naturally attracted to things that we cannot get, right? The things that we cannot get has more value than the things that we have already got, right? It's natural, right? If we cannot get this particular thing, then we want that thing more, right? So we have to use this concept in our studies and to maintain our motivation too. So what you can do is, what I did was I study and do things with discipline. Nowadays, I mean, okay. So how I do it? How do I do it? Firstly, I set a big goal, right? The goal that I want to achieve in the future, right? And then that big goal, you have to break down into tasks, right? Into tasks, and those tasks, each task will have to have objectives, right? Objectives are tiny goals that are both accurate and realistic, right? So objectives, big goal, and then break down the task, and each task will have to have objectives. And in each task, you also have to have deadlines, right? You must have deadlines, otherwise you will be spending too much time on one task. Okay, so you have to have deadlines. And one thing to note is that you must do according to the deadlines, right? And don't set deadlines for too soon, right? You have to be realistic. The deadlines and the plan that you have to be you have to you have to set the kind of goal that you can accomplish even when you aren't motivated, right? So set a goal that is really realistic. Don't be too much, or don't let it be too much. Don't overdo things, and also don't underdo things, if that's a word. So you understand, right? So if you are a person who usually overdo things, then my advice to you is set a big goal and then break down the tasks and have objectives and deadlines for each task, and then set alarms if you still overdo things, right? An example of that would be our school. When we were in school, we have timetables, right? And even if we want to attend IT class, right? That's just an example. Even if we want to attend IT class more after the bell has already rung, right? The teacher has to get off the class and another teacher will come into our class to teach another subject. But we want to teach this subject more. We want to learn this subject more because we are interested. But we can't because the bell has already rung. And it keeps us motivated to study another time, the next time the teacher comes back in, right? So use that concept. So that is an example. You have to make a timetable that is like school, okay, and set alarms so that you won't overdo it. When you have, suppose you are going to do this particular thing for 2 hours, then set an alarm for 2 hours, and after 2 hours, just stop it, put that away, okay? Don't overdo it because if you do overdo it, you're going to get tired after some time and you're going to get bored because you have what you want, okay? You can overdo things whenever you want. So if you are overdoing it, you will get bored, okay? And then you will lose motivation. That's all for today. I've already reached my deadline, so bye bye.